Welcome back, you sensual, soft, gorgeous goddesses out here. Thank you for listening in. I get to speak to you about one of my favorite plants, even though I'm not sure I can say one of. I have many favorite plants, but this is definitely a plant that many people out there already also know me by. They also call me the goddess. And there is probably a reason for that because I talk about her it all the time. I have such an amazing connection. I think she is amazing, gorgeous, and the whole world should know her. And it is, drum roll again, Blue Lotus. Let me see. Yes, this is obviously the dried form. Go and Google what she looks like when she is in full blossom. And let's see what wants to come up. But definitely, I think my connection to this plant, because this is the most important and all the scientific facts you can just go and read out there, even though some facts will probably also come up because I do like nerding about this plant to the max. Isn't she gorgeous? So we see here. If you have been following me and listening in for a while, you know that I talk a lot about the colors. So actually, this way works better. So if you look at it, we have the yellow center and we have like a blue purple tinge flowers on the outside. It is a flower that grows in ponds or in rivers. So it's like any lotus flowers that grow out there. And there's obviously different types. I don't think all of them you can eat. I personally work with the Blue Lotus. So if you are a pro at one of the other lotus, gorgeous. I'm not a pro there. You can go and find that somewhere else. Because I work with the plants that actually first and foremost call me to work with them. Blue Lotus and me, I would say it was a like love at first sight. The first time I heard about her, I immediately went to get the dried flowers. And at that time, it actually wasn't the whole flower, it was just the little petals. And I drank the tea in a guided meditation by someone else. It was online. So it was during, I think it must have been during COVID because it was that time when everything was happening online. And I was immediately transported to Egypt. I was walking through the pyramids, and there were like statues to the left and to the right of figures I've never seen before. I had Isis drop in, and she gave me my wings, and I was just like, "Whoa, what is going on?" I've not been connecting with the frequency of Egypt before that. I did not connect with the goddess Isis before that, nothing like that. And just suddenly it was all there presented to me on a silver plate, and I was amazed. From that day on, I started experimenting by myself. I started telling my friends about it. We started experimenting together. And I have to say here, first and foremost, the plants I choose to work with are very subtle and gentle. So it's you can compare it more to cacao than anything else. So it's psychoactive. What that means, it heightens our senses and it heightens our awareness more than it makes us hallucinate. So it's just very subtle, especially the way I work. I anyway like to work with plants in a subtle way. I don't think we need to push ourselves in taking more and more and more because why? This is just our thinking that this is the only way to get somewhere. Whereas I'm like, no, we can also learn to drop into the softness and the slowness and actually more teach our beings and our body to go back into feeling every single second of our existence. Isn't that more fun than just feeling like certain peak situations? What if we feel every single moment as if it's a peak situation? I mean, come on. Why would you choose one if you could choose the other, right? So in this way of me starting to experiment with the plant and actually find that word experiment so like it sounds so yeah proper. Me experimenting means I just started drinking tea sometimes before sleep, sometimes during the day, and I was just like trying to observe what happens with myself and my state of awareness. And I realized, first of all, my dreams became way more intense. The colors were vivid. I received messages in my dreams. I realized when I took it with friends, that we just became more soft with each other and the way we spoke. And then I think a few years into it, I started receiving the message that I am supposed to guide meditations where people or hold ceremonies where people, instead of like accelerating and jumping out there and doing something active, they actually drop in and go into slowness and softness. And that's when Blue Lotus came up and she's like, let's do that together. Okay, let's do that together. And she from the beginning said, okay, I want to work with cacao in that because cacao, what I only realized later on, is going to help us to ground even more. Make sure to watch my video on cacao. Like, I'm not going to go into detail here, but there is one uploaded where I will tell you a little bit of insights on my insights for cacao. So anyway, so the whole ceremony that I have been doing for like 3 years already with cacao, I received that in meditation with her. She told me step by step what should come after each other. She told me what I should say. She told me what, even when I like created a playlist, it was a channel process with her to really go what is needed for the people to drop in, to drop down. I'm using binaural beats because they're amazing, because they help us to go into deeper states of awareness very quickly, or like subconscious level. So in that sense, me working with people became a whole next new level where I realized I had people coming into my fields who had no experience with meditation, no experience with having visions, no experience with plants whatsoever. They left the event saying they had rabbits come up, they had a purple rope they received, they got downloads and answers to all of their questions. That was actually just a girl in my recent ceremony. It's just like I got all the questions I had answered, and I just now know what I need to do. I'm like, that is amazing. I had people just coming and feeling shit before the ceremony and leaving and feeling really cleansed and like this is who I am. That's where I need to go. So it can also be this very empowering effect, because actually dropping into our truth and hearing our true voice, which is like our subconscious level, which is also in a spiritual level, the connection to the cosmos, to our higher self, the connection to the ground, to Mother Earth, and to our like deepest womb. All of these actually gives us a deeper sense of self and of awareness. And obviously through that we have received way more clarity and receive a sense of this is who I am, which is all what my work is about anyway. So in that sense, she really likes to help us and support us, because her one of her biggest desires, what I can feel, is that she desires that the collective consciousness, which is just swimming out there, or I call it swimming out there, just lands on this earth. So that's why you also see her popping up everywhere. Usually when plants start becoming really popular and famous, it is because they have a really big message that they need to transmit. And then it's about the space holder or the ceremony holder, about really connecting to her essence. And what I will see, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen very soon, is that people will work with Blue Lotus solemnly for her sensual effects, which is also there, and it's also really gorgeous. I went to a few dance, even like to clubs to dance, and I took Blue Lotus, and I feel way more aware of my body and soft, and I'm also like less stressed about my surroundings. I just feel more connected to myself while being connected to others outside of me. Like both is possible at the same time, but more connected to the self. Instead of getting lost in the external, it's more like I feel connected with myself, but I still have a lot of space and desire to mingle with others. So I will say this is a trap that we as humanity most likely will fall into, or also thinking that, oh, she's another cute little drug, like give me more, 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 more. Instead of looking at what is it that actually we desire, because I would say as a society, obviously, we are lacking a sensuality because it's all about fast-paced and more, and sensuality is a lot about the softness and the feeling in the moment. So they're a little bit opposite. So I see that this is could be a potential shadow side of it, and it will be really, really sad to overuse and abuse of another plant. Whereas I'm here standing and saying you, I can tell you this plant is really, really gorgeous and has amazing qualities. But again, here, whenever we work with plants, it's a lot about gratitude. It's a lot about being conscious that this is a sentient being. I keep on saying that, and maybe I will talk once what a sentient being is and why I know that there are sentient beings, but it's just like a lot of the knowledge and awareness I have, it's just I have it. I don't need to explain myself, I just have it. Anyway, I will explain it at one point though, so people can learn more as an inspiration than just teaching you. So I got a little bit lost. So this is just a little bit of what we need to be aware of and things that for yourself, if you're interested and find a deep connection with this plant or you're really curious, this is what you can make sure. Buy the plant from a good source. You can always message me if you need to have a good source. I have researched a lot, so I have connections to like gorgeous Blue Lotus oils. I have connections to gorgeous flowers, and obviously also to this gorgeous spagyric, which I at one point might talk about. So I've done the research. We don't always need everyone needs to do the research. So you just contact me. Also, if you are in Europe, I have most of these plants with me wherever I travel. So it's quite easy. And if I'm somewhere on the other side of the world, feel free to reach out to me too. And I'm also here to guide you if you have like more questions, because especially sometimes it's, oh yes, that is really interesting. Whenever we work with a plant, so with a plant like Blue Lotus, it's a lot about what is the transmission and the message this plant is giving you and wants to give you. So sometimes that is a little bit hard to discover that for yourself. And that's where I have guided multiple people actually one-on-one in that what is the transmission and the message the Blue Lotus wants to do with you. This can be established in one session already, and then the other sessions are here. Maybe that's in your desire, but I would say a minimum of three anyway. But then it's like about how do you work through with that so that this really gets integrated into your life? Because I'm all about integration. We're not just doing quick fixes here. And I'm not telling you you're walking out tomorrow feeling like the most gorgeous, best self of you. No, because most likely there is many fears, many shadows coming up, many like barriers and things like that. So I'm also going to support you to go through that so that then you actually can work with the new self truth that got created or something like that. Let me see if there's anything else that she wants to share today. I think just in general to say that I personally love having her with me most places I go because there is so many different aspects I like to connect with. What is like really underestimated, a lot of these plants actually help us with our creative sparks and powers. So it's super gorgeous if you're an artist. Like I have had musicians as friends and I gave them the Blue Lotus oil. The Blue Lotus oil, by the way, is just to put on your skin. So it's either as a perfume or also makes beautiful skin, so you can put it in your face lotion, which a lot of flowers obviously are good and for the beauty. So you can also ask the plant to help you with your creative spark. So I have or had a musician friend. She started writing songs while she was connected to the plant. And like I say, we don't always need to ingest, as in eat or drink the plant. We can actually just have her lying around like this. That's already going to be really powerful. Have her essential oil in a diffuser or on your pillow or on your wrist, on your neck, so you smell it. Have a tea of Blue Lotus before sleep. Okay, that's actually taken in. But all of these ways you can connect with the plant and you can really see what is she going to support you. And obviously, all of those you can also do before a meditation or before you sleep because, like I said, she helps with the dream world and the visions in general. You can access deeper states of meditation. Maybe you don't really will have any visions or messages and transmissions dropping in, but it's just going to be a very deep and relaxating and rejuvenating experience, or you can actually get like your questions answered. So there it's really important. Obvious, first of all, you need to know the right question, because otherwise, how will you get your question answered if you don't even know what you're asking for? It's like so important. We sometimes just want the answer to everything possible idea we could ever think of on a silver plate, but this is not what life is about. I mean, if you didn't know that, now you know it. Yeah, I think we leave it here. This is just a start because there is everywhere. I talk so much about this plant, and I am actually thinking of doing some online spaces with Blue Lotus. So basically, like always, like and subscribe, because there's more plant magic coming and just more information from my side. And please leave in the comments if you've what your connection is to Blue Lotus, and also if you want to follow up with me on any further questions, feel free to contact me directly or text it in the comments. And also, if you are interested in a Blue Lotus online journey or an online talk, let me know, because I think there's anyway something being cooked up right now. So have a gorgeous day and yeah, enjoy.